The night had started perfectly. I had spent hours getting ready, making sure every detail of the party was perfect. Friends were arriving, laughter filled the air, and the music was just the right mix of upbeat and fun. I could finally relax and enjoy the moment I had been looking forward to all week. The decorations looked stunning, and the food was arranged beautifully. Everyone complimented me on how organized everything was, and I felt proud. For once, it seemed like all my hard work had paid off. I was finally at the center of a gathering where everything felt just right. My husband, on the other hand, had been unusually quiet at first. I thought he was just tired from work, but he kept sipping his drink and nodding politely at people. I didn't think much of it. He usually opens up after a few glasses anyway. Halfway through the evening, I noticed he had disappeared from the crowd. I assumed he had gone to check on the dessert table or grab another drink. I was too busy mingling with friends to follow immediately. Everything was going so well. I didn't want to interrupt my own fun. When he finally returned, the atmosphere shifted instantly. He stood in the middle of the room and loudly criticized the food, calling it bland and poorly prepared. I froze. I couldn't believe he was saying this in front of all my friends. Murmurs spread around the room, and the laughter died down. He didn't stop there. He started pointing out small details in the decorations, complaining that nothing matched and that the music was too loud. I felt my cheeks burn with embarrassment. All my hard work, all the planning, was being dismissed in front of everyone I cared about. I tried to calm him down quietly, pulling him aside, but he wouldn't listen. He kept speaking, louder and louder, until even people who hadn't noticed him before were now paying attention. Some friends exchanged awkward glances, unsure whether to intervene. I felt a mix of anger and humiliation. How could he ruin something I had worked so hard to create? I wanted to leave the party right then and there, but I couldn't let him embarrass me completely. I had to think fast. I decided to change tactics. I told a few close friends to distract him, and I took a deep breath. I tried to redirect the conversation towards something neutral, hoping he would calm down. Slowly, a few people started laughing at his exaggerated complaints, which thankfully made him realize he was making a scene. After what felt like an eternity, he finally quieted down. But the energy at the party had changed. The warmth, the excitement, and the joy I had worked so hard to create were gone. People continued to enjoy themselves, but the magic was gone. Later that night, once everyone had left, we had a long, tense conversation. He admitted he had been stressed and frustrated, but I couldn't help feeling that it didn't excuse the way he had ruined the night. We both knew we had to work on communication and respect for each other's efforts. By the end of it, I realized one thing. No matter how perfect a party or a moment in life might seem, it can all be disrupted by someone who refuses to see your perspective. I learned to protect my joy more carefully after that night, and never take anyone else's actions for granted again.